you guys. How are you all? Thank you guys for being here. So I just wanted to do a quick video to show you a couple things I found pretty interesting regarding Leilani Simon and where she's going to be spending the rest of her days. So in case you guys missed it, let me start here in case some of you missed this. This is Leilani's new mugshot. It came out November 26th. She was transferred to Arundel State Prison to serve out her sentence of life with the possibility of parole plus 10 years, meaning she will be eligible for parole after 40 years. And there's no promising she'll get it after 40 years. You know, we just recently saw that with Susan Smith. But, you know, I can understand people who are upset and think she didn't get enough time. I also think she didn't get enough time, but I'm hopeful that she won't be released, you know, the first time she's up for parole anyways. But I was looking and I was, you know, just out of my own curiosity looking at stuff about this prison, and I wanted to show you something. So when she was first sent there, it caught my attention that a couple things about this prison. Just jobs that the inmates have that are unique. I haven't necessarily heard about from other prisons, including a fire department and even, you know, dog training. I have heard of that, but also something with swine. And I thought that was really interesting. And excuse me, you guys, I am stuffy. I probably sound ridiculous. I apologize. I've got a little cold going on, but okay. So Arundel State Prison. I just realized I wasn't showing you guys that. All right. So this was like one of the most interesting things for me about this prison that I want to show you guys about. Now I've got an article, but it's old. And then we're going to watch a quick video. This article came out in 2006, I believe. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it came out in 2006, but it was updated in 2014. So that's good. Still older, but this is so interesting and not unique, as you'll find out in this article. So the Lee Arundel State Prison Fire Station number 1 is not your typical firehouse. A shy calico kitten named Lacey fills in for the traditional Dalmatian. A fire axe is crossed with a red rose in the painting on the wall, and all 9 of the firefighters are women who would hardly have been labeled heroes before they came to work here. The Band of Sisters is the only all-female inmate fighting crew in Georgia, and one of the 18 firefighting stations under the Georgia Department of Corrections staffed by inmates. 4 more stations operate out of county prisons. The women of Arundel are a supplemental firefighting team for Banks and Habersham counties and the city of Baldwin. They spend their days at the fire station during the week and spend nights and weekends at the prison, where they stay together in a dorm separate from the rest of inmate population. Now, I don't know if that's changed, because in the video we're going to watch, they say something about staying at the firehouse. But like I said, that's kind of part of this article being a little bit old. I don't know. But it continues to say, their work gives inmates the feeling they are making up for their wrongs. When I go in at the end of the day, it gives me a sense that I was useful, that I was purposeful. Arundel firefighter Whitney Beaufort, a 21-year-old serving a 7-year sentence for robbery by intimidation, told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I'm helping the community. I'm doing something to better myself. For prison inmates, firefighting offers the opportunity to escape the prison walls and learn a profession they can take with them once they leave. Department of Corrections Fire Services Director Rick Huggins said in his 12 years as head of the agency, 26 former inmates have landed jobs as firefighters after leaving prison. Georgia law requires felons wait 10 years after conviction before working as a firefighter, but the law exempts inmate firefighters certified through the DOC who must wait only 5 years after a conviction to work in the field. Inmates convicted of arson or sex offenses are the only ones prohibited from fire teams, and murderers are carefully screened. So they are only trained to respond to structure fires, not medical emergencies. And so far, at the time of this article, which I'm not sure if it would be at I guess in 2006, they had only responded to about 4 fires. In rural parts of the state, local volunteer fire departments depend heavily on the Inmate Fire Department. Executive Director of the Georgia Firefighting Standards and Training Council, Lynn Perdue, said, "They are very well trained. They are professional acting individuals, and they do exactly what they've been instructed to do." Inmate Mary Long, serving a 20-year sentence for armed robbery, said she plans to pursue a career in firefighting upon release. "It's become a reality that, hey, I can do this," she said. "It's my way of giving back to society," and she is up for parole in 2 years. Okay, so now here is the firefighting team. This is really crazy and very interesting. Now, I don't know if Leilani would ever be able to do something like this, but it is an opportunity that is offered at the prison where she's going to be spending her life. And crazy, there's 18 of them in Georgia. Department of Corrections fire departments.
We love it. We love it. We're girl power all the way. And it's a great team that we have out here. So it's really cool to be able to say that we're the only all-female fire team. That's really a cool thing to say. And it's a great feeling to be a part of something like that.
It is really cool. I have to say, she's wearing a ring. They are allowed some jewelry, I forget. In prison, it's different than jail. In prison, they are allowed basic, like a band, a gold band like that. And and I'm sure it varies depending on where you are, but it is cool, an all-female firefighting team. And look, if they're doing something productive, I'm not against this. I think this is good. It's better than handing them tablets.
The female offender fire team of 8 at Lee Arundel State Prison is one of a kind, but just like any regular fire department.
So now they have a dog. Remember in the article it said they had a cat? I'm going to try not to pause too much, but just when I notice things that I want to mention to you.
They're on call 24/7, live at the fire station, risk their lives to save others during an emergency, and are constantly training.
You swept the front of you, but you didn't do nothing to the back of you, and the back of you straight.
Remember I told you it said they did live at the fire station, which that's interesting to me. How do they... I don't know how they make that work.
When I say I'm a fire chief, being a female, it's kind of like, you are? That's cool. I worked really hard to get where I am, and it's real rewarding.
Chief Tammy Ayers has been with the Georgia Department of Corrections for nearly 19 years.
Wow.
And started as an officer. Now she's been the fire chief for about 8 years, and she says it's about more than just fighting fires.
Oh, so the fire chief, I didn't catch this the first time. The fire chief is an officer, or was an officer, not an inmate.
They learn how to be a firefighter. They learn firefighting, they learn hazmat, they learn vehicle extrication. There's a lot of different skills, not just firefighting.
Now, I will have this video linked in the description so you guys can watch it in full, but I wanted to show you this.
Smoke is too thick to see through in a fire, and practicing going through enclosed spaces with their equipment on in case the ceiling collapses. She says she remembers her first fire with the team.
Once I had the fire hose in my hand, I'm putting out fire, and I see this family standing there that's lost everything they have, and you're helping. Yeah, they've lost everything, but you're helping, and it makes you feel good inside your heart, and it makes you feel like you've done something positive, and that's the way I want to continue my life from here on.
Another offender on the team says she's also found her passion.
I have a 15-year sentence. I had a lot of shame, a lot of guilt for coming to prison, and I knew this would be a way that I could give back, so it would not only help others, it would help me, and feel like I've not wasted this time.
Now, we had the conversation about conditions inside of jails and prisons, and how overseas they have these prisons where, they have flat screens and locks in their own bathrooms. And we talked about the reoffending rate. How does this affect the reoffending rate? Now, this right here, this firefighting team, I could see this positively impacting these women and changing them to where they might have reoffended and now they're not. I think this is a good thing. There needs to be more of this and less of giving them tablets and whatever else, right? Like, we've seen all the privileges Letitia Stalk has. And if you guys haven't seen that, my channel has so much information about her time in prison, her prison calls, the activity logs from the prison, her kites, just everything from her time in jail and some of her time in prison. And we're always kind of like shocked and horrified at all the stuff that she gets. She can watch movies and listen to music. She has to pay for each song or each movie. She's got a tablet. She's watching football, ordering snacks, KFC, all the things. Instead of giving them all of those privileges, which, I'm okay with some of that. Who am I? But make them learn a skill like this. And actually, like, these women seem to be thriving in this program.
It's not the program if you want to do easy time, but it's the program if you want to better yourself.
She says it's a boost to her resume to show that she's nationally certified. And she hopes her experience with the fire team will prevent her from returning to prison when she's released.
It gives you structure. It gives you discipline. You have a sense of integrity. And so that's things that when you carry out into the world, it's going to make you a lot less likely to reoffend because you still have that sense of purpose and sense of self.
She says the program has exposed her to a skill and a passion.
I could see how if you're used to doing this every day, it's kind of like with rehab and how they teach you, you have to get up every day and take a shower, make your bed, clean up your space. They're trying to get you in the habit of doing these things so you will be productive when you start your life over in recovery or whatever. So anyways, I just wanted to bring this to you. I thought this was really interesting. I mean, it's crazy to imagine Leilani may have the opportunity to do something like this one day. Or like I said, they have a few other programs too for different jobs and stuff. And I thought you guys might want to see that. So anyways, thank you guys for being here and, listening to me. Thank you for supporting me. And I hope to see you a little later today for a live stream. All right. Bye, you guys.